Waiting for somebody to get to the mic, I want to emphasize again. I only brought out some of the contributions we have made since there's so many lies been going on Paltalk about Alicia Israel is against unity, when they don't know anyone that has been fighting and organizing and been meeting for unity and togetherness for our people than myself. As I said, my record speaks for itself about the many communities that has been started around the United States because of my teachings and because the Almighty blessed me to go to my brothers and sisters in spite of the fact they said they was Christians, in spite of the fact they said they were Muslims, in spite of the fact that they said they were Messianic, and he allowed me to deliver his word to the people, and those people did change, and they are now serving the Most High and him only. And you notice that the people that have been talking so ill about me, you don't hear them tonight. As the scripture says, the wicked flee when no man is pursuing, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. And all you have to do is see whose name was on there and see who has ran to see who the wicked is. Any questions? Any comments? Raise your hand. Go ahead, Obadiah. Go ahead, Obadiah. Your mic must not be working, Obadiah.
Go ahead, y'all, sir. Go ahead, y'all, sir.
Go ahead, y'all, sir.
It should be open.
Go ahead and speak.
Go ahead, there you go.
Yes.
Shalom.
Shalom.
God is going to have the very one who prophesied right here in Psalm 16 chapter, the same in David, to be the one that will be our king. Just because of our first king of many people don't believe that.
Is this audio on there yet?
His name, right? He's never. I don't think he's ever been on that song.
Bet you Levi went off and came on with another name.
Could have. Probably.
Many of us have broken many laws because we decided before we knew the truth that truth would put us to death. But nevertheless, the Almighty is another thing of mercy. And this is what he showed us in Psalm 16 chapter, according to the Psalm of David himself.
Oh, they closed that room down. Oh, he's probably in here, yeah.
Different name.
Different name.
Oh, easy. He ain't gonna put his name up there. But he's listening.
We don't remember this like room open. Oh, yeah.
And of course, I'm not surprised that you go to the New Testament. It's not surprising that only a New Testament that you see the words of Satan speaking against the Most High. You see that everything as already mentioned, such as him commanding us to be circumcised, and Paul saying circumcision is nothing. Him saying that we must remember the Saturday to keep it holy, but Paul said don't
3:25. They want me to address that too.
It's no surprise that the same people
It's said.
is the same people who gave us the so-called Kentucky life. And of course, if one is knowledgeable of Kentucky, you'll find that David himself knew that the Creator was not going to leave his soul in hell.
Again, brother.
Hold on.
Yes.
Pitiful boys, but they got beat down. They don't know.
The same mentality.
Israel, that was again the creator's mission. So how could David be the Passover? The question is, how could David be the Passover? David did not die from the slaughter or from his image being formed. Okay, if you think that David's got to be resurrected, are you saying he's going to be resurrected as
He's got
he's going to be living in our time?
They got a bunch of hands up now.
You ready? Go ahead.
Yes. My brother, David, again, is the only one that the Almighty spoke of that would be king. For you or I to say David is not the Messiah is for you or I to call the Most High a lie. And I don't think you want to do that at this point. I know that you like knowledge on the true Creator and His servant, but you're not prepared to call the Most High a lie. The Most High talked about David and him only. Notice what the Creator said was going to happen in the last day. In the book of Ezekiel, I want to go in the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Notice what it says, starting at the 21st verse. It says, I'm going to start in the 22nd verse. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land of Israel, upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. I'm in the book of Ezekiel 37, 22nd verse. And they shall no more be two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all of their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Elohim, and David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. And they shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes to do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I, said Yahweh, have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein their fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Well, right here, the Most High says that David is going to be the one king, the one prince, the one servant, and the one shepherd, and he would be the king and prince of Israel forever when we get home. So there's no room for Yahshua to fit in. So when you're speaking, you're not contradicting me. You're challenging the words of the true and living Elohim. You're calling the Most High a lie. Now what I'm going to do is I want anyone in the listening audience that believe in this Yahshua to show me where the Most High ever mentions his name to anyone. See, all that you have done is find scriptures where no name is mentioned, and you say that this is Yahshua. But I'm showing you scriptures where the name is mentioned all over the book. And you're saying the Most High is lying. Well, if you don't accept the words of the Most High, then surely you won't accept the words of Alicia. Thank you. I relinquish the mic, and if anybody have any questions,
Go ahead, Nariah.
go ahead, Nariah. Go ahead, Nariah.
Shalom, Kulam, Nicole, Israel. If you all can hear me, type 1, please. You can hear me, type 1, the rocket shot. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I have a question that's twofold, and I want to be just as succinct and to the point as possible. Some of the text, various things are being typed, and I'm very aware of Torah, because I am an Israelite that obeys Torah. I'm very aware of various things in Tanakh as a whole. My question is, as it says in, we know in Torah and Devarim, where it says, one shall not be put to death, the son shall not be put to death for the sins of the father, neither the father for the sins of the son. And we know what it says in the Ezekiel or Ezekiel 18 and 33, the soul that sins, it shall die. And I want the question to be listened to in the context of my question, honor in lieu of what I'm about to offer, if possible. Please, no height. We got enough height tonight. That's too much. Since the son cannot be put to death for the father, neither can the father be put to death for the son, Yahweh Elohim said, all souls of mine, as the soul of the Abba, Nefesh, as the soul or Nefesh of the next son. Sorry about that. Since none of us have eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, how is it, brothers and sisters? This is my question. It's twofold. Why are we therefore the recipients of the punishment that was earned by Adam eating tree, the knowledge of good and evil, Adam and Hawa? Why are we the recipients of that death, the sentence, the judgment, death, for dirt you are, and unto dirt you shall return? Why do children pay for their sins? Secondly, the statement that David is to be resurrected in Tanakh. What is the precedent for the resurrection of the wicked and the righteous? Is there a precedent in Tanakh? We don't need to go into any Testament. Let's stick in Tanakh, the Makashah. What is the precedent in Tanakh for the righteous who have died? What precursor?
If we didn't eat from the tree, down the tree of life, why are we dying from there?
Must be satisfied according.
He's cutting out. That's his wife.
What they tell him he's cutting out?
He said, put the
Tanakh. And what are they being reserved, bring back up? Again, can we answer that from the vantage point of Tanakh? I hope, was my question heard? Was my question clear, brothers and sisters? Why are we, all right. Again, my name is Nuriyahu, not Noriah. All right. Here's my question. Forgive, I got dial-up. All right. The first question is, since Torah is clear about the Father not being put to death for the sins of the Son, nor the Son being put to death for the sins of the Father, why are we, the sons and daughters of Adam and Hawa, dying, or the penalty of their sin, though we did not commit therein? None of us have eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Secondly, since someone stated that David shall be resurrected, David, what is the precedent in Tanakh? What is the precedent in Tanakh for the righteous to be raised, and what are the righteous to be used to? Is it short-term, temporal life, where David shall be raised, for a short period of time, or is it the everlasting life? Will David be raised to die again, to be raised to everlasting life? What's the precedent in Tanakh? The righteous to be raised, and if the wicked are raised, what are they raised unto? Are they raised to be punished? What exactly?
Like down Daniel.
Again, the answer from Tanakh, please, no height.
Isaiah
Let's
6.
turn this into a no height zone. Can we do that? So that am I.
What's the question, you mean?
Yeah, you ready?
Yes, I want to answer both of your questions, my brother, but I also neglected to answer the question the other brother asked me, and I'm going to answer that first, and I'm going to go right to you two. First of all, the brother said, when was David made the Passover lamb? First of all, a Passover lamb was not a sin offering. Whoever had not the blood died, the firstborn died in Egypt, whether they was evil or good. If they were the firstborn in Egypt, they died. It was not a sign of sin. It was a sign of sin, only the evil, wicked people would have died. But we know that Creator said, I'm going to put this as a sign on your doorpost, that when the angel of death ride by, if you don't have no blood there, then the firstborn in your house would die. But all the firstborn of Egypt would die regardless. And they all died, whether they were righteous or unrighteous, all the firstborn died. So you see, that was not a sign of no lamb. There is no lamb to be killed for sin except a female. The only lamb that could die for the sins of Israel was a female lamb. Now, getting to the question, why are we dying if Adam sinned? Well, we're dying, but we're not dying a death of death. In other words, we can still be saved. Our salvation is not lost. We are not cut off from the Most High. The Creator said he often visits the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate him, but showing mercy upon thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments. My father might have a disease and I catch it. Well, that don't mean I inherit his sin. I can still be saved. Even though I might have an impairment with me on this earth, I can still be saved. So I'm not cut off from eternal life. All of the sons and daughters of Adam still can receive eternal life. That was not cut off. That was not part of the remission. The second question, will David be raised to everlasting life? Yes, he will, according to the book, again, of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, the 25th verse. It says, and they shall dwell, meaning the children of Israel shall dwell in the land of Canaan when we get back home. And they shall dwell in the land that I've given unto Jacob my servant, wherein their fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. Now this is out of the mouth of the Most High. Nowhere can you find out of the mouth of the Most High where he said that JC or Yahshua or Joshua would live forever. As a matter of fact, you can't show me where the Most High even talked to JC or spoke a word about him, period. The only one that the Almighty exalts and talks about to all of his holy prophets, through Ezekiel, through Isaiah, to Jeremiah, to Amos, to Zechariah, and even to myself. Because when I first learned, it was the Almighty that showed me that. And I began to teach it, and men said that I was wrong. Even Torah-based men, until they found out that the Most High can't be wrong. The Most High is not wrong. So I relinquish the mic, and if anybody have any comments, raise your hand.
He said that's not my question. That was his question.
Would David be raised?
That was the first one.
He already did that.
Then he was trying to say, like, the sins of the fathers.
All right, answer the question. Every question you wrote.
Go ahead, Obadiah.
Who was over there?
I have no idea, but his mic hasn't been working. Yeah, but I'm not coming.
All right, Roman, if you can hear me, please type
Yeah,
one.
it's finally. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, a lot better, too. When that he had a bad mic.
His mic didn't work at all.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hey,
Are these people
room,
want to
shalom.
speak?
Peace to the Messianic
That's
house of
Hezekiah.
Israel in the name of Yahushua, the Mashiach.
Oh, that's the order.
My question to the non-believers is this. Can you all please tell me, give me an answer of Daniel, the book of Daniel, who is this Messiah whom Daniel is referring to in the 9th chapter of his book? I'm going to read this. In Daniel chapter 9, it says, 70 weeks are decreed for your people and for your set-apart cities to put an end to the transgression and to seal up sin and to cover crookedness and to bring up everlasting
In
righteousness
my Torah.
and to seal up vision and prophet and to anoint the most set apart. Verse 25. Know then and understand from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem until Messiah, the Prince, in 7 weeks and 62 weeks. It shall be built again with streets and trench built in times of affliction. And after the 62 weeks, Messiah shall be cut off and have nothing. And the people of the coming of the Prince shall destroy the city in the set apart place. And the end of it is with a flood, and wastes are decreed and fighting until the end. So please, can you explain who is this Messiah that Daniel is talking about? Now, get this. This cannot be David. David is dead. Now, Daniel gives us a time period. Daniel gives a time period. This is not from the King James. Daniel gives a time period of when this Messiah would appear. Daniel says that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem until Messiah the Prince is 7 weeks and 62 weeks. So who is Daniel speaking of right here? Who is that Mashiach? Who is that anointed that David gave, that he gave a time period when this Mashiach should make his appearance? Can you explain who this is? And it's clear. I have several translations, even the Hebrew translation, so it's all pretty much saying the same thing. Who is this king? I mean, who is this anointed one that Daniel is speaking of? With that, I really
Yes.
Hold on, what's that? You got it. Go ahead.
Yes, my brother. If you go to the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter, and if we start at the 23rd verse, it says, At the beginning of my supplications, the commandments were out, and are come to declare it. For then thou art greatly beloved. Therefore look into the world and consider the vision. 70 weeks are decreed concerning thy people and concerning the holy city, to finish the transgression and make an end of sin. Now, what are these 70 weeks? What you have here is some scriptures on prophecy that you don't know and you don't understand. Now, if you don't know what a week is, you don't know what a day is, you don't know what a year is, then how are you determining what 70 weeks are? Are these 70 weeks 70 times 7 or 70 years altogether? Some says 490 years, some says 70. But the point is you're dealing in prophecy, and if you don't understand what the Almighty is showing you and explaining to you when he says David, if you don't accept his words when he plainly point out David will be the king, then how can you accept something that you don't understand because you don't understand prophecy? If you understood prophecy, you would know that the Most High doesn't speak in the New Testament. You would know that the Most High never talked to Yahshua at all. You would know, according to the law, that one cannot die for another man's sin. And you would know that this is not speaking of Christ of the New Testament. I can say who it is, and all you can do is say that I'm wrong or someone else. But the point is there's no name mentioned here. But where there are names mentioned at, you totally would call the Most High a lie, and you would dismiss that and say the Most High doesn't know what he's talking about, but at the same time, you want me to explain something where no name is given. And that would serve you very little, because when I showed you what the Most High said about David, you rejected that. So if you're going to reject the Almighty, then how can I explain prophecy across the radio within these period of time that I'm here? I can't. Go ahead, sister. Kaya, go ahead. Go ahead.
She got executive.
Oh.
Mic's not working.
All right. Can I talk in there now?
No.
I can't talk on that.
I don't know why her mic's not working.
أبصر حلقة قديمة من إسرائيل.
I have no idea. Sound like one of the Gentiles, bro. That's Mike.
With who?
Mike.
What did it say?
Tell me to talk back. You can't
They
hear me.
tell them right now.
However, it is being so. No one has been called nature builders to the rules. Nature builders to the law. If you don't know the difference between day and night, then how can you come together to do anything? Nature building is through the law. The more they have been talking that can be put in the room. The only way to nature build is through
Messianics, man, they do that on their playgrounds all day. They will have you in here from 6 in the morning.
building is through the law.
They do this till 6 in the morning, man. The Messianics, they will be in here. They've heard this 1,000 people arguing with.
Was she finished?
Yes, sir. Ben and V, let him, he got a question. Did you want to comment?
Yes. Yes.
Hold on a second. Just go ahead. You
Yes, and I would like to say this again. If any of my beloved brothers that are ministers and believe that Yahshua is the Messiah and the New Testament is the word of the Most High, I'd be glad to come to your city and talk to you, or I'd be glad also to come to your city and have a discourse with you, a public discourse, so we can iron out this matter. So I'll either come, I'll give you both invitations. I would like to come and talk and share knowledge with one another on this vitally interesting subject about who is Messiah, or I'm ready to come and defend the Most High's word and debate anyone on this issue at all. I'll come to your city if you think that Yahshua is the Messiah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Benavi.
Well, let me start over again. If I can be heard, would you let me know how close to prayer I can
You let them know that?
be? That was obviously being just a strange invitation. Can you hear me better now? Have you heard me clearly? Well, my attempt was to first of all let me say, Shalom Aleichem to all of you in the room. And I would have to wonder if I invited, or if I invite one to my seat to speak, if we really allow him to speak without disrupting me. With the example that I just with whom education I would be so well. However, having said that, let me say this. I was in a room several days ago. It was called, titled Emergency Call to Israel. I was assuming it was part one. In that room was an emergency meeting that was designed to discuss Torah-based concern about organizing for the purpose of dealing with a nation. While in that room, I was very silent, but I heard many men who were primarily Torah-based discussing the issue of a divisive individual named Yeshua. They spoke about the issue of the Shabbat and many other things. And they said that there were some issues that they had with this man. He was not there to answer those issues. And many other statements were made, and I felt somewhat unfairly because he did not have an opportunity to address the concerns of those who were Torah-based that felt that he was out of bounds. I assumed that when I had awakened this morning and turned this computer on and saw this emergency call to Israel Part 2, that these individuals that had so much to say would be here in this room today and address those concerns. It is somewhat alarming to me to see that the whole spirit of that has turned on its head, and what it appears to be is yet again a debate between believers and non-believers in Yahushua. How did this come about? I would suggest, maybe my suggestion will not be heard, perhaps I even felt, but I would suggest that Messianic allow these Torah-based brothers and sisters to do their thing. After all, no disrespect meant here, but you know what it says about teaching an older person new tricks. It can't be done. You're talking and you're debating with an individual that's been doing this well over 30, 40 years. There's nothing you're going to convince him about. If by now he does not agree, it is obvious that he will never agree. If by now he doesn't see what you that are Messianic say that you see, it should be obvious to you he'll never see it.
surely nothing that you can do to convince him of what he's already convinced himself and has convinced others for a number of years what he does not believe in. Now, to do that old two-step and say we are talking about nation deal with, well, I think you do it. That's a tad of a stretch. You all had some other concerns, and somehow this has been hijacked. I would love to see and hear some of those men that I heard making some of those derogatory statements about this man, who claimed that they at one time used to walk with him, who claimed that they began on the same basis of belief, and somehow he, according to them, took a loop. My question is the same that Elisha asked. Where are you guys at now? Where are all those men that were speaking so eloquently? Where are those men that had so much energy? Where are those men that had so much to say when he wasn't in the room? You sounded like men to be men of renown, men with courage and conviction. You had a whole lot to say about this man when he wasn't present. Now he's here. Now he's availed himself. Now this emergency call to Israel too is here. Where are you at? Don't make this thing a gospel sure issue versus those that don't believe. Why do you argue with somebody about their belief in the first place? If they don't believe, that's their business. But this is not what this meeting was called for, and let's not play a game. It was called because they had some differences with him relative to this issue of unity, and they mentioned issues that they differed with him based on his Torah understanding. The Shabbat was one of those issues. How does it become a messianic Torah-based argument or discussion? Where are you men at the
Like the scripture said, the wicked
Are you
flee.
hiding in Philadelphia? Are you hiding in New York? Where you at? Come to the mic. Let them do their thing. Sit back and listen to where they go when they deal with their own problems. So surely they have enough problems within their own belief system to fill up this mic for the rest of the day and for the rest of the year. Why sidetrack their issue? Why don't we come in here and murky the water, so to speak? Let them do this thing. Where you guys at? Where you at? Come to the mic. I've heard this man come up to the mic on a few occasions and say, all you guys that have something to say about me, Elisha, we have nothing to say about you. We were talking about Yahushua. That's another subject. They were talking about you. They said they didn't believe in you. They said they had an argument with you. Where are these guys at? Do I have to embarrass you by posting their names? I was there. And I wasn't a part of this group. I asked questions. Why would you talk against someone and you say you men believe in Torah? Why would you talk against him when he doesn't have an opportunity to address your concerns? A tad bit unfair. Where he at? Where he at? You all know who you are. Where he at? Come to the mic. Say what you said when he wasn't here. Do your thing now that he's here. Other than that, some of you all need to shut up because I believe that this day he's already shown some of you all he's got a little bit more substance than many of you all. But that has something to do with those that believe as you believe. Now, I'm not about to sit here as I relinquish this mic. I'm not about to sit here and debate anybody about what he believes or what I believe. Because after all has been said and all is done, my faith cannot be shaken, not by one iota. The issue is, those that say they believe and you believe had so many things to say about you in that first meeting. And you are man enough to show yourself here to say, whatever you got to say, say it now that I'm here. I agree with you. Where you at? Exactly. I agree with you tonight. Where you at?
Say your who business, so I'll go to next.
Well, the dude in the room, he better step up. If he step up, I mean, this brother,
Shut up.
That's somebody else.
he said
That's
before,
a loud.
be able to turn the into the witch taking a witness, he should be able to show us,
That's another.
as anybody else should be able to show us, in the scripture, and it's not from A to Z, where he gets his, from. Brother, I will die for Brother Mary God, who asked for not for these things for again. I mean, if you say that, these, you make these claims, Messiah that Daniel was speaking of, how could that be David? David has born and died. So you mean, he's going to be raised again, to be cut off again, then to be raised up again? I mean, that's the logic to follow that. Daniel prophesied this after Daniel's time. Daniel prophesied this after David's time. So, who is the Messiah? So,
He's ready.
Go ahead.
I agree with the brother that let the people know that I'm here to meet those that said I'm not for unity and those that talk about me like a dog the other week and continuously, and then when I'm here, I don't see them. I want to talk to them. But in relationship to your question, I'm always ready to avail myself to defend the words of the Most High. You say, who is the Messiah that Daniel spoke about? My question is, where is the Messiah that Yahweh spoke about? He named him, and you won't accept him, but you want to tell me about a Messiah that's not David nor Yahshua. The one that's spoken of in the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter, is not David, neither is it Yahshua. It's someone entirely different. But for me to explain it to you is for you to accept my word as far as history is concerned and accept what I say. But why would you accept what I say when I'm bringing you a name that's not even visible when you won't accept what the Most High says? Let's talk about the Messiah the Most High spoke about in the book of Isaiah, the 55th chapter. Let's talk about that one. Let's read that one for a minute. In Isaiah, the 55th chapter, it says in the 3rd to the 5th verse, it reads, "Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Behold, I have given him," speaking of David, "for a witness to the people, a leader, and a commander to the people." Well, my brother, I just showed you where the Most High said he gave us David. It's going to be our leader. He's going to be the witness. He's going to be the commander. The Almighty is going to make an everlasting covenant with us, even according to the sure mercies of David. He said David is the king, the shepherd, and the prince, and he will be our prince forever. And you reject that because the Most High said it. But you would like to show me something where a name is not mentioned and want me to give you something that you will accept. Well, my brother, if you're going to accept, then the verses that I'm giving you are only the plain, these verses are so plain, as the scripture said, that a fool should not err therein. If he expects, and if he respects the word of the Most High, David is going to be the king. So says the Most High. Now, who said Yahshua is going to be the king and prince forever? Not any of the prophets, not the Most High. His name is not even mentioned from the mouth of the Most High. So why would you take all day trying to figure out something that we don't agree about when we suppose to all be ready to accept the words of the Most High, and you have totally rejected them this night? You and most of the Messianic-based people have totally rejected the words of the Most High, and in fact, you said that he's lying. But you want to accept my words. Now, who am I that you would take my words over the Most High? Thank you. I've relinquished the mic.
You want Yehuda or
The next, just go right down. No, Elkanah, not Elkanah. I ain't already talked about it, so I want to go right on down.
Yehuda?
Yes.
So
Yehuda ben Yon. Yehuda ben Yon. Shalom.
Wow. A lot of things going on here. I noticed one of the questions, and I'm sure you probably answered it, and I've been discussing this with some other participants. There really seems to be a misunderstanding of Daniel 9. One of the first, most glaring misunderstanding is the word Messiah there in the English. You know, we show that word Messiah around all the time, not really realizing that the word Messiah is actually a Greek word, and it's actually based upon a Greek thought. And we have an example of that. Now, some of you brothers that are Messianic should know this, and I'm assuming that you do. Because I saw Brother Nureg mention
That's not where I want to
I
go.
want to attempt to try and put it up. Whether or not you're going to accept it is up to you. I can't, make you accept anything. You ask the question in terms of who it was spoken of in Daniel, and that is what I'm going to try and do in terms of giving you an understanding. But the first thing I wanted to do was clear up the misunderstanding of the mistranslation of the word Messiah in the book of Daniel. If you go into the Hebrew, you know that the word there is Mashiach. Mashiach in English means anointed one. It has nothing to do with Messiah. We know that is true because if we go into Isaiah, the 45th chapter, where it's speaking about Cyrus, in the English translation, King James Version, it's translated as anointed one, and it doesn't use the word Messiah, but in the Hebrew it has the same word, Mashiach, that we find in Daniel 9. Now, if that is not an error or a deliberate mistranslation in most English translations in Daniel 9, I don't know what it is. All you have to do is go into Isaiah, the 46th chapter, read what it says about Cyrus, about what the Most High says about Cyrus as his anointed one. The same word there in Hebrew is Mashiach. So why is it that when we get to Daniel, the translators do not want to use the word anointed one, they simply use the word Messiah? That is what's throwing everybody out, because what it does is supports the Christian doctrine and the Christian theology that purports to try and prove that there's some type of Messiah that Daniel spoke of who wasn't even born yet. So now let's get down to the understanding of what Daniel was talking about. You need to go down to the very first part of Daniel. In the very first part of Daniel, you'll read in chapter 9, verse 2 and 3, he said that he meditated in the book over the number of the years where the word of the Most High came to Jeremiah the prophet. That's what it says in verses 2 and 3. And that he would accomplish for the desolations of Jerusalem 70 years. And he set his face unto the Most High to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. So what we need to understand here is that what was Daniel's
He ain't even
concern?
addressed what he's supposed to do.
They just told us. He just told us in Daniel 2 and 3. He wants to know when the 70-year captivity that has been prophesied by Jeremiah is going to be up.
Do this every day, man.
Every week, at least 2-3 times a week.
And as we read on in that particular chapter, you'll see that he'll say, "Oh, Yah, attend and do defer not for your own sake, because your name is called upon this day in thy people." So first of all, we have to understand that Daniel wasn't praying or inquiring about the end of days or about some other person that was going to come down the line hundreds of years later.
That's why he posted up
His supplication, as we just plainly read in the first three verses of Daniel
That's
chapter
not why
9,
I'm here.
was concerning the state of the
And he
nation
know
of
it.
Israel at
That's
that
right.
time, which was under Persian captivity, and his longing for the land of Israel. So the account tells us about Gabriel, the angel, who came to address his concern.
He's doing nothing different. He's there.
And so we have to understand that Daniel prayed to know when the 70-year captivity would come to an end. So the angel told him this. All we have to do is go to verse 24. 70 weeks of the decree upon your people and upon this holy city, to finish the transgression and to make an end of sin, and to forgive inequity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal vision and prophet, and to anoint the most holy place.
Now, they ain't going to accept that.
So right here, Daniel is given the answer to his prayer, and also to the future of the people of the land.
3 times.
So now he's going to be given a breakdown as to what's going to occur in the 70 weeks to come. Daniel 9:25. Know therefore and discern that from the going
What time
forth
is it?
of the word to restore and to build Jerusalem,
12:21.
that's Jeremiah's proclamation of the
12:21.
captivity, unto the one anointed, that's the proper translation, a prince, shall be 7 weeks, which will be given in all place and light of the troublesome time. So if you understand the history, and this is where a lot of people get confused, you have to understand that Babylon
Right, I thought he
took
was.
hold
But
of
everybody's seeing the
Jerusalem
kind of
through a
person
series
he
of
is.
invasions.
They sin when they sin.
Everyone knows that the traditional
And they
days
see the kind of
place
person Levi.
586
See, all this, all
They
this.
gonna use the thing. I don't.
Everyone also should know
Yeah,
that
they're talking
Cyrus
about uniting.
became governor
And
of
one
Babylon in
arguing is not
539
building,
BC.
arguing is not united.
They know
They're
what.
going to use all
He then entered into the gate. He made his
See, I got on the
proclamation
mic,
around
and
That man told them the
538
right thing. He
BC.
told them
Now,
the
if you
truth.
do the
Benedict about
calculation,
to come back up.
that
If you
amounts
ain't-
to 49 years. That's 7 weeks
But the
from the
people will
time
see
the
through it, the
original
ones
word
who are
went forth
supposed
spoken by the two prophets, Jeremiah and Isaiah.
I'm about to pull this card.
The
Tap
word
dancing
that had gone
preachers.
forth at the time of Daniel's supplication was the story of Cyrus
When
built
I
to
you
restore
hold
the
some
temple.
boxing lessons.
If you can
Holler at
read
me.
Ezra and Nehemiah, and you read the account of what was going on there, even in the Chronicles, it would tell you that. And just as I mentioned in Isaiah the 45th chapter, when the Most High used Cyrus and called him his anointed
Elder
one.
Levi,
He's the one that issued the proclamation.
Huh?
Elder
So
Levi
when we
did that
look at
too.
these writers
what?
such as Zechariah, Ezra, and
Go to
Nehemiah,
battle Christians
all of
and
them
stuff
tell
like
us at that time that the temple and the city was not immediately restored. The true date of the construction was 516. That's 70 years from
As
the
if they're
going
gonna
forth
accept it
into
as-
captivity
Hey.
with the land paying its Sabbath, just as Jeremiah had prophesied of the 70-year captivity. Yehuda, what are your references? The references that I'm giving are the references that secular history has indicated in terms of when Babylon was taken by, when Jerusalem was taken by Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar. As I mentioned, the traditional date is set to 586 BCE. Also, they have also chronicled the fact that Cyrus made his proclamation in 538 BCE. And also that the first construction of the temple was in 516. These are all dates that you can find outside of the Torah and also within the Torah. Again, understanding that the count of the Gentile method of counting, since basically you're looking at regular years as far as ancient civilizations in terms of counting time, the Greeks and the Romans came up with this before the Common Era or before Christ, or this BCE type of thing. And so those are the traditional dates that have been chronology and what do you call them? Individuals that are historians have set for those particular dates. So let's go on. The annals of the world does not give those dates. Yes, they do. Are you telling me that the annals of the world does not place Jerusalem being captured
He's just wasting his time so he can get off to say he was on so he can go on. That's all.
Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that, Matthew, that in 586 BCE, Jerusalem was not destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand if that's what you're saying.
He wants to just ignore that.
Oh, they going
That's
back
all you
and
need to
forth.
do, just type it in there.
Right.
Okay,
That's normal. This is
so
how
you
it works.
disagree with 586 BCE. I want to make sure that
That's
you
what I do.
understand.
So I asked him.
Because I
Like,
understand
y'all
that
might
you
tell him,
disagree
so you ain't got to
with
control
that.
who gets the
That-
mic next. They can click on with each other. I can kick them off right now.
Well, I'm just saying they can go back and forth.
There is no pay.
No.
All you have to
they
do is
type
just go to any particular history
They're
and
answering
look up
the people
Nebuchadnezzar and
Well,
Jerusalem,
somebody just
and it will
asked-
tell you it
whoever's
was
talking right now,
586
ask
BC.
somebody a question.
Right. They're asking it right here.
All right, well, let me go on.
He's
because
reading
the
that.
traditional date for anybody that wants to be able to
We can
go
cut
to
this
like
off.
an encyclopedia,
We can
historical
stop this.
encyclopedia,
Mhm.
anybody that knows anything
No, I
about
want to keep it going
history,
so they can
especially
see,
if they're
because I want this
Israelites,
other fella to come
to
on
know
after that.
Jerusalem was destroyed completely by Nebuchadnezzar
Yehudites
in
coming next, then
586 BC. If you don't know that, then you need to do your homework.
Who is Yehudamite?
Well, he's pretty much done. I mean,
Well, I don't know what book you're talking about, Matthew, but let me just go on because I don't want to end up taking up all the time on the mic. I have no idea what book you're referring to. I never referred to any type of book. So I don't know where you're coming from as far as talking about a particular book. Well, I don't have the Annals of the World book in front of me right now. What I'm doing is
That's what he wants, right, right.
No, I don't want that either. He would say that he did, so leave him, let him run his course out. He'll say what he was going to get to that after that, but we cut him off.
During the course of the 62 weeks, the nation of Israel ran into opposition in trying to build the temple and the land. Again, you can read Ezra, Nehemiah, and Zechariah, and they will tell you that. Because they all describe the event that Daniel is told about. Now, toward the latter end of the 62 weeks, it fell under the Platonic rule. If you know anything about the Platonic, about Egyptians, if you studied that history,
What
you
time
know
did
that
Derek
that was
close?
troublesome time.
12? 1?
Verse 26, after
you give me
3, 4,
some,
and
a
2
little
weeks
bottle of
shall
oil?
the anointed one be cut off and be
What's
no
that, olive
more.
oil?
That's what it actually
You
says
can't
in
get no olive oil,
the
get
Hebrew.
any kind of vegetable oil. for it.
And not, it doesn't say, and not for himself. That's another mistranslation in the English translation where when they get to verse 26 that this Messiah is going to be cut off and no more, and not, but not for himself. Mistranslation. The actual translation reads, and after 3, 4, and 2 weeks shall an anointed one be cut off and be no more.
Most of them.
Traditional,
You know, everybody knows the
has
scripts,
set
man, pretty
that
much. That's one thing.
person that refers
One
to
thing
in
about it
Daniel
is they will
9:26
battle, you know,
as
for the Almighty.
Ananias the third, who was the last
But
anointed
teachers, you
high
got
priest.
He's not. He don't consider
And
himself
the
a teacher.
people of April
He considers
that shall
himself a
come
student.
shall destroy the city
Jehoshua.
and the sanctuary. That certainly
who's
couldn't
this
have
man
been
on that?
JC
Talks about definition. Right there.
if they were
But
his people.
there, go up.
But anyway,
Right,
that
go down.
individual was Antiochus Epiphanes. Again, check the
Right there.
history.
Minister of death.
I don't know.
But his end shall be with the flood, and into the end war and desolations are determined.
That's
And
Joshua
he
from
shall make a
Baltimore.
firm covenant for 1 week,
No, that's Joshua
and for
from
half
here.
of the week he
This
shall
must be a
cause the
fellow who
sacrifice
talks
and
long
offers the
time.
feast,
He talks
restoring
like
and
he's
check
going
about what
fast.
Antiochus did.
Probably.
And upon
These
the
guys are
legal
on there all the
acceptable
time. That's
things
what I'm
shall be
saying.
that
They know
which
all the
causes
man.
the
They
and that
just
until
do
the
this to
extermination shall
battle.
be determined before out.
Then they come
that
in
which
and they'll
caused the
tell
fall.
you,
So
if
now,
you don't stop,
if
I'm
you
gonna
add
kill
7
you.
plus 62 plus 1,
It goes
you're
there
gonna
and then.
come to the number 7. 70 weeks are decreed upon thy people and upon thy city to finish the transgression, to make it end of sin, and to forgive iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal vision and prophet, and to anoint the most holy place. After the 62 weeks, high priest Ananias is slain. Then you have what is called the Maccabean revolt area. Some of those were Israelites, some of them they were not. But it's important for us to understand that the anointed one that was cut off after the 62 weeks was high priest Ananias III. He was the last anointed priest of the nation of Israel. That's in history. When Antiochus got involved, he caused a sacrifice and offerings to cease for the spirit that's alluded to in Daniel's prophecy. So here's the question that I would have. The fact of the matter is that during this, all this during this period of time, we're thoroughly removed off of everything that made us as a people, and that we would find favor in the eyes of the Most High. That's why we're still in the land of our captivity today, in the process of rethinking ourselves in the land of our captivity as foretold by the prophet. If in fact this man came 400-something years later, and it was such significant, why in the world are we still in captivity? What did he come for? What did he save us from? He saved us from absolutely nothing. So now, don't let it ever be said that no one gave you the answer to Daniel 9 because we did. Now, whether you want to accept the history or not, it's up to you. But that's the fact, and that's the history, and it could not have been talking about someone who had not even been born yet. And with that, I relinquish the mic.
Who's that?
You go ahead.
Yes, I came came here tonight because I wanted to hear the various attacks and and the lies that was spread on me in person by Yehovan and Levi and others, and I'm not hearing that. And I know a lot of people came to this station this night so we can clear up this matter and see who's really for the unity of our people and who's against the unity of our people. Who's actually teaching the lies and who's not. But as I said, you would see the wicked run when I came on, and that's exactly what you're seeing tonight. But right now, we're going to the Yehudanite. Your own brother.
I still call him out.
Shalom, if you can hear me, please press 1, please.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, press 1.
They got everybody.
Thank you.
It's about 50.
Trying to start tonight, it seems a lot of disturbance in the room, and a lot of it's coming from the Messianics. I was very interested in hearing the people who came against Alicia to come to the forefront, because I'm one who witnessed some of the things that people have been saying as far as in these rooms, and it's kind of like distracting, and it's not Torah-based. Brothers and sisters, please stop bashing other brothers who teach that Yah is the Savior. We are the true children of Israel, and we are to follow all the laws and commandments given by Yah. Too many people are out here, it's not in the forefront. They have written no books, they have no congregations, and you can tell that they are unlearned and they are definitely not scholars. The average person who's typing in these rooms tonight have hardly no biblical background. They don't even understand what they're typing. They're acting like little kids. And it's very sickening the people who come into the room who may be for their first time. If you guys claim to be mores, and you're teaching here and there, you should know better than this. Because you're putting your names out there, you're acting like children. Little kids writing back and forth saying this and that. If you're messianic and you believe JC is the Messiah, you know you got no proof.
This is
The
not the
only
same
reason that I
one.
use the name Joshua
Got the same
in
message
teaching
on
is
it.
because of Hebrews and the book of Acts.
Yeah, the beast
In which you can go to any dictionary
That was the one
and
that
they'll
stuck
show
for
you
that.
that they might
Yeah, I
say
ain't gonna stay on
that
past
JC's
1
name
o'clock.
is contracted from Yeshua. But you showed me the Hebrew version to that. You cannot get JC from Yahshua. The section has E.A. Zeus. He-A Zeus. Hail Zeus. There is no Yahshua mentioned. And to all my brothers who claim to be Messianic, I know you're from the Chicago area, out of Brother Boone's camp. Or you have Brother Boone's teaching. You need to stop it. But the Boone, the false prophet, and all those who teach that JC, Yahshua, you're false prophets also. Because you do not understand the book that you're reading. You think that the Torah-based people don't have the answers to your questions, but we do. The thing is, you're not willing to listen, and I'm going to show you.
Okay, what happened to you? You were cut off, Yehudanite, for some reason. Benavi, go ahead.
If I can be heard.
Yehuda's coming back.
Brother Yehuda, I'm not certain if you were finished. You were abruptly and rudely interrupted. My question is simple. I don't want to get into this thing long. I had forewarned those that were in this room, but especially those that were messianic. This is not necessarily a discussion for us. You're not going to change anybody's opinion in this room that believes Torah.
He sound like he's
I mean,
messianic too.
why are we eating this horse?
He might be.
I mean, what is the purpose?
But he come to hear this
It's
thing with us.
exercising futility.
Because
It
it
has
was
nothing to do
counted
with
to
nothing.
one.
What are we here doing? This is what the more weightier issue is. And let's get back to the real subject matter. And Messianic,
Yes.
sit back and listen to this. Brother Elisha, I'm happy that you, first of all, came here this evening. I thought once again that was a manly thing to do.
Okay.
It was an upright thing to do. So things have been stated about you, and if
Okay.
one did not know you,
All right.
I would have
Are you
to
hearing me
believe
clear?
that the sole purpose of it was to mar your character.
All right, thank you.
Now, those
Shalom.
things that men have heard about you, and you are here relative to Scripture. Can you do this for us? Will you return to the mic and explain what it is that you mean when you see the Shabbat? And I don't want to misquote you, and however you feel to straighten out whatever I'm saying. Would you please return to the mic and explain to us this daylight issue of the Shabbat versus the nighttime issue? I am somewhat confused by it, and I've heard many speak on the same issue and not quite able to actually comprehend exactly where you're coming from. So, with all due respect,
back at the mark too.
would you return to the mic and let Messianics and Torah-based alike hear exactly what you can say and what you would share in that issue relative to the Shabbat? So with that, I relinquish the mic.
Yes.
Yes, what I'm saying is that a night and day are completely separate from one another. When they were first made, you'll find in the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, there are 3 different places where our Creator says that He separated the night from the day. So therefore, night is not a dark portion of a day, neither is a day a light portion of a night, but they're totally separated from one another. Again, in Genesis 1 and 3, it reads, "And Elohim said, Let there be light, and there was light. And Elohim saw that the light, it was good, and Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And the light he called day, and the darkness he called night, period. Period." And then it says, "There came to be evening, and there came to be morning one day." Nowhere is evening defined here. Nowhere is morning defined in the 1st chapter of Genesis. But what is defined is a day, and what is defined is a night, and they're totally separate, and the Most High separated them from one another. And then the 16th verse of the same chapter says, "And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and he made the stars also." So that day and night were separated from one another. If we go into the book of Psalms, 136, Psalms 136, here's what we will notice when we get there. It says, in 136, notice what it says in the 7th verse. "To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule by day, his mercy endureth forever. The moon and the stars to rule by night." Now common sense will tell you that if a day started at night, then the sun would be ruling. But your own common sense lets you know that when the sun has stopped shining, it means the day has ceased, because the sun was given to us to rule over the day, and the moon and stars was given to us to rule over the night. So therefore, the first 12 hours of a day does not start at night. That is literally impossible. And as the Creator says, He traveled by our people when we were coming out of Egypt. He traveled by day and a cloud by day, and a fire by night. Again, totally different. I asked our brothers to look in the book of Numbers, the 11th chapter, and look up the 32nd verse. And then I asked my brothers to tell me how many days are mentioned in this verse, and then how many nights. Here's how it reads. It says, and the people stood up all that day. All that day. You look up all, it means the whole day, the complete day, the entire day, the full day, all that day, until nothing else was in the day no longer, and all that night, and all the next day. Now we that have divine knowledge know that they counted quails, stood up and counted quails for 2 days and 1 night. But if a day starts at night, and a night and a day is the same, then they counted quails 3 days and 3 nights. And you know that's wrong, because here the Creator has made a difference. He said 2 days and 1 night. All that day, that means the entire day. And if a night was part of a complete day, you would never read after that, all that night, and then you would never read where it says in the next part, all the next day. They're completely different from one another. And according to the scriptures, all days start in the morning. Let me give you an example about how our day starts in the morning. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Let's go to Exodus, the 10th chapter. Let's go to Exodus, the 10th chapter. And let's start reading. I think we want to start reading maybe the 4th verse. And here's what it says. It says in the 4th verse of Exodus, the 10th chapter, to prove that day starts at night. That a day starts in the morning. It reads, else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow. And if you look up tomorrow, it means the next day. In scriptures, it implies the next day. All your concordances will show you that the word tomorrow or morrow means the next day. Notice what this says. Behold, tomorrow I will bring the locust into thy coast. Now, when was the locust to be brought into the coast of Egypt? It was to be brought in tomorrow. And then as we read, notice what it says in verse 13 and 14. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and Yahweh brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night, and when it was morning, the east wind brought the locust. When it was morning, because morning coincided with tomorrow. It came in the morning. So you see that all of our days starts in the morning. Let me give you another example. In the book of Exodus again. Let's go to Exodus, the 18th chapter. What?